All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a real gem, a progressive meltdown caught on tape by Channel 5 at some anti-Elon Musk, anti-billionaire protest in Union Square. You're going to hear a lot of whining about Trump, Musk, and the supposed fascist coup they're pulling off. Spoiler alert, it's the same old leftist hysteria we've been debunking for years. Let's get into it.
You look at my gray hair, you think I probably don't listen to rap music, and you're right. But I heard about the slogan in a podcast, and I thought that is the right idea. Elon Musk, he not like us.
Seriously? Last I checked, Musk isn't even an elected official. It's a guy with a spreadsheet trying to make government efficient for once. Meanwhile, these people act like the federal workforce is some sacred institution. Newsflash, it's not. It's a mess of unelected paper pushers who've been living off our tax dollars for decades.
Stop the billionaire coup. Elon Musk is literally raiding our government and destroying our country.
I am become meme.
That's the one illegal alien that we have to get rid of.
Meanwhile, Trump and Musk's efforts to expand the power of the executive branch and slash the federal workforce continue.
What they're doing is illegal. He is not a government employee.
300 employees at the National Nuclear Security Administration were fired.
It's a coup.
It's a bunch of unelected billionaires who are ransacking our government.
This really does look like 1933 Germany.
1933 Germany comparison. Oh, here we go, straight to the Hitler card. This looks like 1933 Germany. Really? Because firing some bureaucrats is totally the same as the Third Reich. Look, I get it. Trump and Musk hurt your feelings by downsizing government. But let's not pretend this is fascism. Hitler ruled by executive orders? Sure, and so has every modern president. Obama dropped 276 of them. Where was the outrage then? This is just selective panic because the cuts don't fit their agenda.
You know, Hitler did rule via executive order.
38 executive orders.
Just executive order after executive order. And it's unreal. It's fascism at its heart.
Hi, I'm Hitler. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with Hitler?
Yeah, Trump for emperor.
We want to downsize government, but make it better.
Stop the fucking billionaires.
He's firing a lot of federal workers. Many of these folks have civil service protection, so these things are against the law.
He's in the IRS today, I hear. He's getting all of our information. They're slashing jobs. They're slashing the Department of Education. They're slashing infection.
They're slashing jobs. Baby formula inspectors, park rangers, cancer scientists. Okay, let's pump the brakes. First off, the federal government employs over 2 million people, many in redundant or outright useless roles. Musk and Trump aren't firing doctors curing cancer. They're targeting waste. The Department of Education, it's a money pit that's done nothing for test scores since Jimmy Carter created it. Infectious disease experts. The CDC botched COVID so bad, they should have been pink slipped years ago. This isn't gutting the country, it's gutting the gravy train.
Disease experts, baby formula inspectors, livestock disease testers,
People in the FBI,
park rangers, bank regulators,
CDC.
drug addiction and cancer scientists.
Basically slashing every resources that we have.
It's kind of like we're gutting the country from the inside out.
And why? Because they want to give themselves a big tax break or they destroy the middle class.
They're just trying to destroy our government, to wipe out the power of the people, and to put oligarchs in charge.
We can't roll over anymore. People are rolling over. It's like, no.
America is resisting fascism like the entire world is.
Because this system sucks. It's done by design, and what we need is a revolution. We really do.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live in New York City at Union Square for the anti-Elon Musk, anti-billionaire, stop the coup, fuck the kings protest. We're going to talk to some people about how they feel about everything going on right now.
In this country, I have friends, I have family who are transgender. You can't roll back history. My friend Yvonne Ritter, who just died last year, who was one of the key people at Stonewall.
For context, the Stonewall riots were a series of events that occurred after New York City police attempted to illegally raid and shut down a prominent queer bar in the 60s. It was 6 days of mayhem and is generally considered to be the launch point for the modern gay rights movement.
The other day, we all woke up to see that the T was removed from the website.
They removed the T from the Stonewall National Monument website. Cue the outrage. Look, the National Park Service isn't erasing history. It's just not bowing to every demand of the woke alphabet mafia. Stonewall happened. It's documented. But the government doesn't need to turn every webpage into a DEI sermon, and Trump banning transgender women from women's sports. That's not reversing history. That's protecting fairness. Biological males have no business dominating women's athletics, and most Americans agree.
Honoring the Stonewall riots.
References to transgender and queer people have been removed from the Stonewall National Monument section on the National Park Service website. This comes as the Trump administration continues to push for federal agencies to only recognize two genders, male and female.
And this is absolutely outrageous. It's like undoing history. It's reversing history. You can't do that. So they might have removed the T, but they can't undo the history. That's why we're here. That's why it's important to have this flag. I'm an immigrant from Ireland. I came here because I was gay. It was a criminal offence in Ireland at the time. And I came here precisely because there was room here if you were queer, if you were gay. Now this policy is reversing that.
President Trump keeps his promise to get wokeness out of the United States Armed Forces as he signs multiple executive orders to reshape the military.
And late today at the White House, President Trump signing an executive order banning transgender women from competing in women's sports.
The administration has issued orders for hospitals, for instance, to stop providing health care for young people, for children, for adults who are transgender.
President Trump's halting gender-affirming care for kids under 19. Imagine being in the middle of treatment. Yeah, imagine being a confused teenager pumped full of hormones because some activist doctor decided you're trans at 12. This isn't about denying care. It's about stopping irreversible experiments on minors and cutting pediatric research. They're not touching sickle cell trials. They're pausing the external PR nonsense that agencies use to virtue signal. Real science isn't dying here. The woke bureaucracy is.
Trump recently signed an executive order halting federal support for gender-affirming health care for people under 19 years of age.
Can you imagine being in the middle of treatment and all of a sudden a directive comes from Washington to stop that treatment? My husband is a pediatric hematologist oncologist. I've been inspired by him as I watched him care for children with sickle cell and with cancer. And I understand how important trials are and research. So the cuts, the directives from Washington have literally cut and threatened the life, therefore, of many children across America and young people.
The Trump administration has told federal health agencies to pause external communications.
So it's very practical. It's not just rhetoric. It literally impacts real lives, families who love their children, who care for their families.
He's acting like a king or wannabe dictator, and I think it's pathetic.
This country is moving very rapidly under Trump into an authoritarian form of society.
We have a government where powers are supposed to be separated between equal branches. The executive branch is not authorized to simply defund programs that have been appropriated by Congress. They're seizing power. They're firing civil service members to put in loyalists.
Overnight, President Trump firing the nation's top military leadership in an unprecedented purge.
The Republican Congress is not checking him on this. They're too timid to do so, and that's why I'm here. I hope we can get back to the democracy we've had for 250 years.
What are some of the executive orders that you found most egregious in this first month of the new term?
Oh, end of birthright citizenship.
End of birthright citizenship, unprecedented legal battle. Good. It's about time we had this fight. The 14th Amendment wasn't written for anchor babies. It was for freed slaves. Letting anyone born on U.S. soil claim citizenship is a loophole exploited by illegal immigrants. Trump's not a dictator for closing it. He's forcing a debate Congress has dodged for decades. If you don't like it, take it up with the Constitution.
Without a doubt.
President Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship has kicked off an unprecedented legal battle over immigration policy.
I'm also worried about there's a bill been introduced in the House to make a national ban on abortion?
I think the executive orders firing inspector generals, I would say, because they are the watchdogs of our society.
Within days of taking office, President Trump fired more than 17 inspectors general across the federal government.
Eliminating any DEI in government programs, which has frightened other agencies and people to stop teaching history and stop teaching about our true history. And
all agencies were directed to put DEI staff on leave. Employees ordered to remove pronouns from their signatures. Diversity inclusion programs shuttered.
They're attacking DEI because they're racist. Oh, please. DEI isn't some holy grail of justice. It's a corporate and government racket that's forced pronouns and racial quotas down our throats. Trump's not banning history, he's banning indoctrination. And companies like Walmart rolling back DEI, that's not racism. That's the free market saying we're done with this woke garbage. People want jobs, not lectures.
Backlash after Elon Musk seized control of USAID, the agency that provides U.S. humanitarian assistance around the world.
Oh, the USAID is ridiculous, and the lies around it are unreal. And if you turn on Fox News, it's literally just a propaganda machine.
Angry Democrats throwing a hissy fit after Elon Musk dropped the Doge hammer on the Hunter Biden of government agencies.
Supposedly there's $200 million worth of food that's being held up in ports right now. Condoms that need to go to Africa. AIDS medication. It's ridiculous.
Around the world, we are doing important medicine to help things from getting out of hand, like COVID. Those things, we are a big interconnected world. Those things come here.
All the money to fight diseases in other countries, that's going to come back to bite us when those diseases land here on our shores.
But hell, I don't want Ebola to come here and mutate. I don't want AIDS to mutate because,
I should note that following Trump and Musk's defunding of USAID, they've since decided to reinstate funding for Ebola and HIV research.
We have, for example, turned on funding for Ebola prevention and for HIV prevention. Yes, correct.
Still, many of Elon's critics view his gutting of USAID as a strange, unnecessary thing, given its relative small percentage in the overall government spending budget.
USAID spending, foreign aid is not a large percent of our budget. Defense is a tremendous one. Social Security, Medicare, but foreign aid is a tiny, tiny fraction of American spending.
USAID's $43 billion budget is a tiny fraction of what the government spends, about 1%.
It's about $100 per taxpayer in America, although, if you have to figure out how much of that is really well-off people versus poor people.
More shrimp! Always room for more shrimp. Definitely room for less Trump. So if there's one message for the people of America at home or worldwide, less Trump, more shrimp. You heard it here first.
You have anything to say to the world?
Definitely stand up to fascism. There's a hostile takeover of the government happening. A bunch of billionaires are reaping the benefits from it, and we're all getting fucked. So people gotta hit the streets and make it happen. Also, more shrimp, less Trump.
Obviously, everybody at the rally was militantly anti-Elon, but a few of his supporters showed up to speak their minds.
I'm a Democrat for 45 years, no longer. So I put a lot of those people in office who voted for things that quite frankly, they're stealing money from us with all these NGOs that are being investigated. I like Elon Musk.
Finally, someone at this protest gets it. Kind of. This guy's right. Billions go to NGOs for stuff like trans comic books in Peru. That's not a conspiracy. It's real. Look up the State Department's grants. It's insane. But then they flip it. Oh, Musk is just a billionaire hypocrite. Yeah, he's rich, but he's not the one laundering tax dollars through fake charities. He's exposing it. The left hates him because he's shining a light on their nonprofit scam. All right, that's the wrap up. What we've got here is a bunch of triggered progressives screaming about fascism while ignoring the real problem. A government that's been too big, too wasteful, and too woke for too long. Trump and Musk aren't perfect, but they're doing what conservatives have begged for, cutting the crap. If you're mad about that, maybe take a break from protesting and check your thanks for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.